Some people pull away from love not because they don't want it, but because being deeply loved feels psychologically dangerous. There's a strange moment that happens for certain people. They finally meet someone kind, consistent, emotionally available, and instead of relaxing, they start feeling restless, irritability, a sudden urge for space, a need to slow things down, or a quiet feeling that something is off even when nothing is wrong. And because the feeling appears during closeness, the mind assumes the relationship must be the problem. But often the discomfort isn't caused by love itself, it's caused by what love begins to bring up. Love creates visibility. Some people can handle desire, attention, sex, obsession, even longing, but being truly seen feels unbearable because real love removes certain hiding places. It notices you, it notices your reactions, your fears, your patterns, the parts of you that are usually hidden behind charm, independence, humor, caretaking, confidence, or control. And for someone who has survived by staying slightly hidden and guarded, that kind of closeness can feel more exposing than comforting. At some point, their mind got used to emotional uncertainty feeling normal. Waiting, wondering, longing, trying to earn love, trying not to lose it. So when someone finally arrives who is calm and steady, their body doesn't fully know how to relax into it. Not because the person is wrong for them, because peace can feel unfamiliar when you're used to emotional intensity. And people rarely recognize this while it's happening. They think they've lost feelings, or that the spark is fading, or that something must be missing. But underneath that confusion, there's often a quieter fear. If I let this person truly love me, who would I be without all the waiting, proving, chasing, and protecting? What I just described usually doesn't look obvious from the outside. In fact, many people with this pattern appear emotionally intelligent, self-aware, thoughtful, even deeply loving. They may crave intimacy for years, think about love constantly, long for emotional depth, romanticize connection, feel devastated by distance. But when closeness becomes stable, something inside them starts reacting. Imagine someone who spends years longing for connection, who spends years feeling emotionally hooked by uncertainty, reading into small changes, overthinking texts, feeling intense chemistry with emotionally unavailable people, confusing emotional highs and lows with deep connection. Then eventually they meet someone calm, someone who texts back, shows up, stays consistent, doesn't create confusion. At first it feels almost unreal, suspiciously easy. Then slowly their feelings begin shifting. They begin noticing small imperfections. Conversations feel less exciting. They wonder if the spark is gone. They miss the intensity they once thought they hated. And this creates enormous confusion, because consciously, they may genuinely want love. But internally, their system is responding to something else entirely. For some people, emotional chaos starts to feel like passion. The highs and lows, the unpredictability, the emotional chasing, all of it creates a feeling of aliveness. So calm love can initially feel strangely empty, not bad, not cold, and quiet can feel uncomfortable when your emotions are used to tension. But uncertainty is not the only reason love can feel scary. For some people, love threatens control. To love someone deeply is to let them affect you. Their mood matters, their absence matters, their disappointment matters, their closeness matters. And for someone who spent years trying not to need too much from anyone, that can feel terrifying. Not because they don't care, because once someone matters deeply, they have the power to hurt you. For others, love awakens grief. The more tenderness enters, the more old pain begins to move underneath it. A kind word can create sadness. Consistency can bring up suspicion. Being chosen can make old feelings of rejection feel even louder. Because sometimes love doesn't immediately heal the wound. Sometimes it shines a light on where love was missing before, and the person may not understand why something good makes them suddenly feel anxious, irritated, distant, or emotionally overwhelmed. They only know that closeness is stirring something deep inside them they cannot control. There are also people who associate love with obligation and pressure. For them, being loved does not feel simple. It feels like being claimed, needed, watched, responsible for someone else's emotions, expected to respond, expected to stay. For them, being loved can feel heavy, so even healthy love can start feeling suffocating, with the fear that closeness means losing the right to move freely, not because the other person is controlling them, but because part of them still believes closeness comes with a cost. Then there is the fear of disappointing someone who truly loves you. Casual connections are easier in this way. There is less to lose, less to break, less to fail. But when someone really loves you, your choices matter more. Your limitations matter more. Your inconsistency matters more. You are no longer just desired, you are trusted. And being trusted can feel terrifying to someone who secretly fears they cannot maintain the love they're being given. So they may pull away before they can disappoint you, create distance before they can fail you, become vague before they have to face the weight of being important to someone. There is also the fear of permanence. There is also the fear of commitment itself. For some people, commitment doesn't immediately feel comforting. It feels claustrophobic, like doors are closing, like freedom is shrinking, like there is no easy escape anymore. Even when they love someone, part of them may panic at the feeling of being deeply known, not because they want endless options, but because keeping one foot out has always felt emotionally safer. This is why some people become obsessed with emotionally unavailable partners, yet lose desire when affection is fully returned. The mind interprets emotional pursuit as meaning. The waiting, the guessing, the emotional ups and downs, all of it keeps the feelings intense. But mutual love removes the chase. And for some people, the chase was never separate from the feeling of desire itself. The chase became part of what they thought love was. So when stability arrives, they unconsciously start searching for emotional movement again. Not because they consciously want chaos, but because peace can feel unfamiliar at first. Love also challenges the way people secretly see themselves. If someone deep down feels unworthy, too much, not enough, or difficult to love, then being loved consistently creates an internal conflict. The other person is saying, "I see you and I choose you." But something inside says, if they really saw me, they would leave. So instead of receiving love, the person begins testing it, questioning it, distrusting it, pushing against it, waiting for the moment the illusion breaks and for the other person to eventually pull away. And love begins to feel less like relief and more like waiting for something to go wrong. Then there are people who fear loss more than they desire connection. They may want love deeply, but once they truly attach, the fear of losing it becomes overwhelming. So they stay halfway in, close enough to feel something, far enough to survive if it ends. Because for some people, getting attached feels dangerous. The fear is not always, what if this doesn't work? Sometimes it is, what if it does work, and then I lose it? And this is why understanding the pattern intellectually often changes very little. A person can fully understand their pattern intellectually and still feel restless inside healthy love. Because the reaction isn't purely cognitive, it's physiological. And this creates one of the strangest paradoxes in human attachment. Some people spend their entire lives searching for love, while simultaneously experiencing real love as a threat to the self they became in its absence. So the moment they receive what they thought they wanted, they begin feeling trapped, numb, doubtful, or emotionally disconnected. Not because love disappeared, because the identity organized around longing no longer knows what to do. And this is why certain people repeatedly move toward emotionally unavailable relationships, even while consciously desiring closeness. The adaptation keeps recreating the emotional environment it understands, not intentionally, not maliciously, just predictably. Because human beings do not only move toward what is healthy, they move toward what feels psychologically familiar, even when familiarity hurts them. And the unsettling part is, fear of love does not always look like avoidance. Sometimes it looks like obsession, idealization, fantasy, longing from afar, pursuing someone unavailable, wanting closeness intensely, right up until it becomes real. Because fantasy love is emotionally safer than mutual love. Fantasy can't fully see you. Fantasy can't stay long enough to expose your defenses. Fantasy can't ask you to be known in real time. It lets the nervous system circle intimacy without fully entering it. And many people never realize this is the pattern they're responding to. They spend years believing they simply haven't met the right person. But sometimes the deeper issue is that peace itself does not yet feel like love.